We can't actually ever do your channel. We've discovered.
Is that because the new AdSense things?
Because of all of that, yeah, you need something like 1,000 views and
it's 4,000 hours, isn't it? Or is it 1,000 hours and 4,000 views? No, somebody subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a mix of the two.
So you can't set up a new channel anymore and just broadcast. You have to meet that criteria.
You can.
Yeah.
It's just live streaming. For some reason, they've got to be in their bonnet about live streaming and narrowing the amount of people that can just get on and live stream.
But Darren, because he set up this channel previously, can.
We think it's a hangover from the old. So, you know, we're not at any given point. We are kind of at Google's mercy with that a little bit, because at any given point they might just rescind that permission.
Yeah. In fact, Molly, now do you want to slack me your questions? These don't have to be the questions that you ask on Friday, but I'll just work them into the script. And I think on Friday I'll definitely ask yours. I'll get you to ask yours first, Molly, so then you can concentrate on the job of bringing in the other guests.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure when I'll ask you to ask yours.
Okay.
So the countdown should be running on the treatment page now.
Recording, Lee, I can see that.
Yes.
I haven't put the URL in yet, so you'll just...
Yeah, I've got a countdown now. 8 minutes, yeah?
Yeah.
Where's that, Nat? The Tale of Two Robots? I don't remember that. I haven't read the last two yet. Is it in those?
No, that's actually from the first one. Yeah, when he talks about Tooth the robot, and then there's another one about going to space. It's on. Somewhere near there.
Okay, right, we're all ready to rock. We're just on countdown now. We've got 7 minutes, so we can just chat away.
I'm going to put my laptop on charge.
Flick catalog.
All right. Well, I've got an intro that I'll work on. I think it's all right.
Audience severely depleted. It's just me and you.
Jesus, it was the minute I talked about my intro. Look at that.
I know. God.
Hello and welcome to Book Club. We are delighted to be joined by the American author Heather Fever.
Are we 100% certain on the pronunciation of this now?
Yeah, definitely, because I've watched videos of her introducing herself as Heather Lefevre.
Okay, perfect.
Hello and welcome to Book Club. We are delighted to be joined today by the American author Heather Lefevre. It is said that it's no easy matter to give novelty to old subjects, authority to new, to impart lustre to rusty things, light to the obscure and mysterious, to give nature to everything and to arrange everything according to its nature. Yet this is exactly what Heather Lefevre has done with her book Brain Surfing. Heather travelled the world to interview 9 of our top marketing strategists. Writing more like a novelist than a business writer, her descriptive powers are like the air in a balloon, lifting these 9 strategists above us so that we can clearly see them and their work and their purpose. Heather Lefevre, welcome to Book Club. Thank you, Lee. And welcome to our readers, a dazzling cast from across the industry who have joined us today to ask Heather their questions about brain surfing, including 3 of the strategists that Heather interviewed in her book. book. Kevin May, Sahar Sidhom. I'm going to have to check that pronunciation with Heather. I think it's Sahar, spelled S-A-H-E-R, Sahar, and then Sidhom, S-I-D-H-O-M, Sahar Sidhom, and Brian Miller. And finally, welcome to those of you who are watching us live online. Heather is also looking forward to hearing your questions. Heather, sometimes in life we do things because we want to do them and we work out why later. Have you worked out why you wrote this book? That's a very good question, Lee. Let me think about it. And our next question is from my colleague, Molly White from Silence Media.
Hi, Heather. Nice to meet you finally. So in your chapter with Suzanne Powers, you do sort of talk about how fewer women volunteered themselves as mentors, and you sort of talk about some reasons why you think this might be the case. But I was kind of wondering what response you've had from women since the book was published, and whether your experience has inspired other women to do the same, or made more women consider the idea of being a mentor.
Thank you, Molly. That was a great question. And the next question is from my colleague. What was everyone else saying? Madeko.
I can hear that.
Yeah, I can hear a crazy echo.
My colleague Natalie Farsiani, sorry Natalie, from Silence Media. Better get that right on the day.
The cheek of it.
Okay, 3 minutes.
As in, am I asking the question?
Well, you can do actually when we do this do this rehearsal.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
When we go live, yeah, just ask a version of it. It just helps us with the checking of everything.
Okay. When you speak about the tale of two robots and the need to be more reactive to our environments, how would you go about getting clients that prefer a more traditional way of working to be on board with more abstract methods?
That's a very good question.
Thank you.
You're sounding
I actually can't answer it though.
If you Google brain surfing, Silence Media is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th result down.
Positive.
That's without doing any real SEO, isn't it?
2 minutes.
Natalie, the second half of your surname is Iana, isn't it? Farsiana.
It's Farsiani.
Farsiani. Why
I mean, it's on the screen, Lee.
No, I can see how it's spelled. I don't know why I'm suddenly having a brain fart.
Molly, can you at some stage today give me the new copy for this latest book club? Because obviously we've still got Here's Bob Hoffman.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we've got a minute and a half. So you're going to mute us all at a minute and you're going to focus yourself straight away, Lee. Yeah?
Okay.
And then be sensible from 30 seconds onwards, really.
All right.
Maybe a bit longer. Okay, that's a minute now, Molly, so you can focus.
Hello and welcome to Book Club. We are delighted to be joined today by the American author Heather Lefevre. It is said that it's no easy matter to give novelty to old subjects, authority to new, to impart lustre to rusty things, light to the obscure and mysterious, to give nature to everything and to arrange everything according to its nature. Yet this is exactly what Heather Lefevre has done with her book, Brain Surfing. Heather travelled the world to interview 9 of our top marketing strategists. Writing more like a novelist than a business writer, her descriptive powers are like the air in a balloon, lifting these 9 strategists above us so that we can clearly see them and their work and their purpose. Heather Lefevre, welcome to Book Club. Hello. And welcome to our readers, a dazzling cast from across the industry who have joined us today to ask Heather their questions about brain surfing, including 3 of the strategists that Heather interviewed in her book: Kevin May, Sahar Sidham, and Brian Miller. And finally, welcome to those of you who are watching us live online. Heather is also looking forward to hearing your questions. Heather, sometimes in life we do things because we want to do them, and we work out why later. Have you worked out why you wrote this book? That's a fantastic answer. And now a question from my colleague Molly White from Silence.
Hey, so I, in your chapter with Suzanne Powers, you mentioned how fewer women volunteered themselves to be mentors, and the reasons why this might be the case. And so I was interested in hearing whether, so what sort of response you'd had from women since your book had been published, and whether it inspired others, your experiences had inspired other women to do the same, or made them more open to the idea of being a mentor.
Thank you, Molly, and thanks for your answer, Heather. Our next question comes from Natalie Farsiani, my colleague at Silence Media. Natalie's muted for some reason. Oh, Daz didn't throw the throw it back to Molly, so I can't hear anybody. I can see you're all muted.
I think I am now the host, but Nat, I think you need to click to unmute. I've asked to unmute, but I think you need to click something to unmute yourself.
Okay, so I have to unmute myself.
Well, if I'm host, the way it's set up is I request people to be unmuted, and then you need to click something to actually unmute yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Now, was that the case last time, Molly, with all our guests?
Yeah, it comes up with saying I can request to unmute them, and then they have to click something to actually unmute themselves.
Okay.
And is that what happened last time?
Yeah.
So every single guest did do that.
Yeah, luckily I was watching. I could kind of was watching their faces, and I could see them like clocking they needed to do something, but it did concern me that they just wouldn't do it.
Well, you know what? When we do the rehearsal, well, when we go live, you know, when we all gather on Friday before we go live.
Yeah.
I think it's worth you telling all the guests that they need to be ready for you to unmute them and for them to accept it, because we ideally don't want a repeat of what just happened there.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, I haven't written an outro yet, but I'll have one for tomorrow's rehearsal. I'll also have a better intro than that. It's a bit not very good, but I'll work on it. Daz, are you happy?
Yeah.
Oh, let me. User muted.
Yeah. I actually didn't realise that as well, Molly, that actually they were unmuting themselves. I just thought that you were just unmuting them. So it was amazing that it went so
Exactly.
last time, actually. Flipping heck.
I know.
Can you throw the host back to me and I'll just stop this? Or in fact, can you just stop the live stream? You don't need to give me the host.